Pole dancing, people, it's back. It never left, I guess. And organizers of the World Pole Sports Championships want to reform pole dancing to make it respectable enough to be in the Olympics. Now, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with what pole dancing is, but here's a slightly cleaned up version that could end up in the Summer Games one of these days.
People think so many different things. Yeah, it's changed. When I started 10 years ago, I'd speak to someone and I'd say, oh, you know, I teach pole. And the first thing they would say is, oh, you're going to dance for me.
At the World Championships for Pole Sports in London, athletes from 10 years old to over 60 are here to compete and change attitudes. Like gymnastics competitions, the emphasis here on levels of technical difficulty and flawless execution, not sex appeal.
Okay, that obviously does take some level of athletic skill. And the Olympics has done some odd things lately. They've gotten rid of wrestling, they've gotten rid of baseball, so there might be room for pole dancing, as crazy as that sounds. Is pole dancing an Olympic sport? Will you get on a pole and train for 2020?
I've been on a pole,
yeah?
And I would represent this great nation on a pole. No one wants to see that. No, but no, I do think there is, as you've said, a certain level of athleticism that is required of this. You know, I've seen many a pole dancer on many a continent, I'm just saying. Yeah. And they work hard for that money.
They do.
You know, I do think, however, that they have to take away a certain, I won't say an essential part of pole dancing is the sexuality or the sensuality of it. Yeah. But they are kind of trying to strip that away, pun intended, to make this more a respectable sport. Yeah. And so even though there is the athleticism, there's the argument that if you have to change so much of its very nature to let people perceive it in this light, it may not work.
Do you have to totally de-sexify it to make it work? Because we have plenty of, you know, you look at women's tennis, it's so based in, it's all the pretty women that everyone seems to care about, right?
Well, if you have to do that version of pole dancing, yeah, they just said 10-year-olds. Right. Or pole, you can't have 10-year-olds pole dancing.
Which is young for the pole, I'm just saying.
That's a little young for the pole.
That's a young age for the pole. Yeah. Just putting it out
there.
But
I think, I mean, there's so many stupid Olympic sports. There's no reason to sit, like, there are just as many sports in the Olympics that are dumber than pole dancing.
I totally agree.
I mean, archery is like, what?
Archery's hard. I've done archery.
There are lots of things that are difficult.
She's pole dancing, she's doing archery. Hey, what else do you do?
Lots of, you know what I'm saying? The list is long and distinguished. Or actually not that distinguished.
But at least with pole dancing, there's like a future to it. Like after like with archery, once the Olympics are over, what are you going to go? Archer somewhere else?
People use a bow and arrow to get out. What do you mean? You kill a deer and you have venison for dinner.
So all right, you get your dinner out of it. You live in New York
City. You don't know what people are doing
Zombie
out there.
Apocalypse? You'll be wanting to hang out with me and my bow and arrow.
Yeah, but the pole dancers will be able to distract the zombies.
That's right. What's that guy's name from Walking Dead? If he didn't know how to use that bow and arrow, would he have been able to do all that he's done?
True. I think that might have been a fictional portrayal, but I'm not sure.
Is that a fictional?
But pole dancers have some place where they can work after the Olympics. They can make a living for themselves.
Yeah,
it should.
That's true.
Maybe it should be the other way around. It should be a way to get the ladies off the pole in the clubs is to say, hey, if you train hard, you could represent your great nation.
But isn't that ironic though? Because the girls that are doing this in the clubs and in the strip clubs that are giving lap dances, a lot of them are putting themselves through college. They're actually making a lot of money. I think it's very empowering for women. Actually, while the people that are doing Olympic stuff, you know, they're not getting paid, and there's all these stories about how all these people win Olympic gold and then come home and they're broke and don't know what to do with their lives.
And you want to talk about endorsement deals? Can you imagine when the Hustler Club gets to put on their marquee that a gold medalist pole dancer is dancing tonight? There's a lot of money to be made in this.
People would pay cover for that.
Yeah.
You would pay cover, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd pay cover for whatever.
Like baby fat and on those jeans that they could like clap their butts with it.
See?
There's so many more uses. I'm endorsing this sport for the Olympics. Absolutely.
Juicy would finally
advertise
as an Olympic sport.
Oh my God, love it, love it.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure I know what Shanna's next YouTube video will be.